All right, this is Craig LeBlanc, episode 16 of the Daily Parks and Rec Show. We are still getting things geared up. I put together my Calendly invite. I have about 10 Parks and Rec directors and three executive directors of state associations that will be coming on with us here in the next couple weeks, ramping things up as we create content for the Parks and Rec community. And so, just to help everyone understand what we're trying to accomplish here, we wanted to create a YouTube or just live content going on YouTube, X, Facebook, and LinkedIn about the Parks and Rec community, serving the Parks and Recreation community throughout America. And so, for those of you that don't understand enough about Parks and Recreation, that's just the park system in your city. And so every city in America has a park system, a little baseball field, greenways, walking trails, aquatic centers, baseball fields, football fields, zoos, aquariums, you name it. And there is a whole population of municipal, city, town employees that run all this for you. And so I've been working in this community for, oh my gosh, probably a decade now, serving them in all sorts of capacities. And I've gotten very close to the state associations and the directors in the South, but I've also worked with Parks and Recreation across the country. And so I created the Bitcoin Daily Show. It was specifically about Bitcoin. For those of you who know me, I'm a really big fanatic about Bitcoin, love it. It was a passion project of mine. But the whole time I was making that, I thought, man, I wish, well, let me back up a little. I saw a ton of great content creators in the Bitcoin community, and that were way better than me at creating content. I learned a whole lot about building community, about creating content, about the tech stack, about lighting, about microphones, you name it. Got better and better at it. And so I've kind of stepped away from that. I think it's in good hands right now. The show still continues. So if you'd like to learn more about Bitcoin, just go on X. The Bitcoin Daily Show continues still to this day. Love that group over there. They're kind of like family to me. After that experience, though, I was thinking, someone should put together a similar content creation event or a daily live or interview, but just to serve the Parks and Recreation community. And just as I served the Bitcoin community in that capacity by giving the Bitcoin community a platform to meet each other, to be educated, to talk about the news and what is Bitcoin kind of thing, I thought, man, it would be great to have something in the Parks and Rec community so that people could learn more about the work that's being done in Parks and Recreation, and who's running it, what's the opportunities there, and just to raise awareness in general about your local park systems. And then also we have state associations. In every state, there's an association that a lot of these park systems belong to, and they attend an annual event every year where they do continuing education. They meet each other and they network, and they try to find better ways to more efficiently spend the property tax that funds Parks and Recreation. And so I spent a decade of my life in that whole ecosystem. And as I said before, after creating content and a daily live show for the Bitcoin community, I said, you know what, I'm going to create one for the Parks and Recreation community because there really isn't anything like that. And I think Bitcoin as a topic is in good hands because there's so many content creators kind of fighting to create really good content. I love it. I learned a lot working with that crowd. But there really isn't anybody highlighting the work and what's being done with the Parks and Recreation community. So I'm taking it upon myself to launch that. And hopefully we could get some other things going here. Now, there is NRPA, which I will be working with. That's the National Parks and Recreation Association, and that they're meeting in Atlanta right now. And they have a newsletter and they have a magazine. Of course, they put on their big annual event. And so that's about it. That's all they really have going on. There's a couple other small things for Parks and Recreation, but I also wanted to get into the field maintenance or the superintendent kind of maintaining the parks. And this is the electricians and the plumbers and carpenters and painters and lawn care people that really are just maintaining the beauty of the park systems throughout America. So that's, I think what we're going to do is we're going to create, much like I did in the Bitcoin show, we had a day that talked about a specific topic in Bitcoin. So we would talk about, say, mining on Thursdays or TradFi on Saturdays. And that way, because it's such a broad topic, and in a very similar way, Parks and Recreation is a very broad topic. You could talk about being a director. Let's say you're just appointed to a director, or you're a retired director, or you're somewhere in the middle. What are the lessons you've learned? And believe me, being a director of a very large city, say 50 to 100 to a million people, or a small town of 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 people is totally different. One has more departments and department heads and different staff. And then the others, the park and rec director may do almost everything except for maybe cut the grass. And I know some directors that actually cut the grass. They're in little tiny towns of 800 people here in Louisiana. So I'm assuming that's like that everywhere. So we wanted to create content for all levels of Parks and Recreation and the jobs that are inside of these Parks and Rec departments. Now, not just on the leadership and the department side, but also the superintendents are more in charge of maintaining these facilities. So we were going to do a separate day, say Tuesday might be our superintendent day. And that's where we go into how do you maintain these fields, these athletic fields, the buildings, and all the stuff that goes into that. We may have a third day on aquatics, a fourth day perhaps on sports tourism. Sports tourism has been a big driver in building these facilities because cities have realized that if they build a complex with like 12 baseball fields or 12 volleyball fields or 10 soccer fields, that they can become a hub where in the region they can attract weekends where they have these baseball tournaments. And of course, that drives the hotel and the food and fuel. And this, people are spending a lot of money, bringing a lot of money to the community. And really, all you have to do is build it. And so, not only does your town get to take advantage of these multi-million-dollar facilities, but it also brings a lot of people back into the town from the region and surrounding areas. And I have seen and worked on a lot of these facilities. So I think that would be a great, that would be a good content, a day that we would speak about that specific content. And there's going to be a lot of others that popped up. Like the Bitcoin Daily, I just pressed start and I figured it out as I went. And so I have that under my belt. But we're going to do this in a very similar way. You get to start from the ground up. We're going to build this thing from the ground up. Even though I have a lot of connections and experience in Parks and Recreation, of course, I've got now a decent amount of experience in producing live content, both on audio and video. And so we're just going to take all that and just take our next step. So we've got about 16 episodes. I have not uploaded them all, but I've got one of my early interviews that's on the YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I think I've only got 8 subscribers. I'll start texting some more people today. Because to go live on YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers. So I'm thinking in a month or so, I should have 1,000 subscribers. And till then, we're going live on X. I did create an X account for the Parks and Rec Daily. So please follow us on there. Subscribe to us on YouTube. It's also called the Daily Parks and Rec Show. And then I'm also putting this on my Facebook, my LinkedIn, and my X profile. Now, I will also be creating Parks and Rec channels for LinkedIn, and I have previously created something called Parks and Rec Done Right. And so that's a Facebook group that has about 5,000 Park and Rec professionals in it. So we're going to rebrand that one. We're going to go from the Parks and Rec Done Right to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. So that's a little transition. And this was an idea that kind of came to me again while I was doing the Bitcoin Daily, serving that community and getting back into Parks and Recreation, wanting to serve this community in a similar way. So again, of course, I am Craig LeBlanc, the Doorman. Just to let you know, the Doorman was a title that was given to me while I was building the Daily Bitcoin Show, because I was opening doors for people. I was introducing people, networking with people, connecting people. People would always come to me. I guess it's been a story in my life where if you needed to know somebody, you would come to me, and I happen to have somebody in my cell phone. Like, I got a guy that does this, or I got a guy that does that. So that kind of name has just kind of stuck with me. And then it kind of was my tagline for the show. So I'm just bringing it into this one. Now, I know we do have a special guest coming up, Miss Terry. She is the executive director of the Kentucky Parks and Rec Association. So I will be scheduling her probably in the next week or two. She's got her convention coming up next month. I'm also going to try to get the president of the Park and Rec Association here in Louisiana, which is where we are. This is my backyard. My backyard sits about 3 blocks from LSU campus. So if any of you ever want to go to an LSU game, please hit me up. I love entertaining people. I've got a big house with a lot of empty rooms upstairs. You're welcome to come hang out with me and go to an LSU football game. If you have not been to an LSU football game, nothing compares to LSU tailgating. It is ridiculous that happens here, really anywhere on earth. It's quite a sight to see. So I hope y'all can make it down there. We're also about an hour from New Orleans, which I have a house over there as well. So it'd be love to go entertain people over there. If anyone's in the Louisiana, Southern Louisiana area, please look me up. All right. So this is my daily update. I'm going to keep giving these updates 10, 15 minutes until we get into the 1 hour interviews. Now, if anyone knows a park or recreation director, or if your city, if you'd like to reach out to your city, you'd like to highlight your city, your parks department, just reach out to your director and say, hey, I just saw Craig on the Daily Parks and Rec show, and he asked if we knew of any park superintendents or any park and rec directors. Welcome them to come onto the show. They can reach out to me here on X, or they can reach out to me on LinkedIn, and we'll schedule them for a live show where they can tell us a little bit about their story, how they got into Parks and Rec, and then they can tell us about their city and what their plans are for the future, kind of what's going on now, or what's their past, what's going on right now, and then what's their vision for the future. And this will be great content for all of the Parks and Rec community that's getting involved in Parks and Recreation. It actually is a great career path. And so for those of you college kids that are looking for a career that maybe you want to get into working in your local city, or you want to get into athletics or coaching or field maintenance, or, I will say a lot of the Parks and Rec directors work their way up city government, and these are very good, high-paying jobs. You need college degrees for this. It takes a lot of leadership. Some of these people are in charge of multi-million-dollar budgets and facilities throughout some of the largest cities in America, or medium-sized or small cities. So I know they're always looking for help in this area. There's always jobs openings to these cities, and it really is a great community that I've worked with. A lot of friendly people. I can't say enough about the Parks and Rec community that I've met throughout America. So if you're considering getting a job in that, get on the Parks and Rec Done Right Facebook group, again, which is transitioning to the Daily Parks and Rec show, and just start asking around, meeting people, and then reach out to me, and we'll see if we can get you connected to the right city or the right department. Okay, so I'll be signing off. Again, this is Craig LeBlanc, the doorman, the founder of the Daily Parks and Rec show. I'll be here again tomorrow, and I'll be scheduling some 1 hour, hour and a half interviews with some leaders in this community. And we will see y'all again, same time, same place. Thanks.